Thank you.
So I mentioned I referred to your customer, the end customer, the person for whom the laundry is being done, as a woman,
Yes.
and I did that because, again, in our pre-pro interview, you were unapologetic. So I was referring to your customer, and you referred to it as a woman, and I was like, well, but there are men that stay home too, right? And so your customer includes men, and you were unapologetic about, like, sure, yeah, we have customers who are men, but I built this business
Yeah.
for women because it's primarily women that are doing this work, and it is primarily women that we're impacting. Like, tell us, like, where that unapologetic, like,
Yeah.
attitude came from.
It comes from the fact that there was this. I didn't know this when I went into it, but I read this study that said that 78% of the time that laundry is done in a home, it's done by women in the home,
You
and
said
that's like
70%?
78%.
78%. Okay.
Yeah. So when you think about that, it's 8 out of 10 times that the laundry is done. It's done by women in the home. Now, in the U.S., there are 38 billion loads of laundry done each year. Okay, how much time are women spending on this? And
Hmm.
I felt like it would be neglectful of me to pretend to be inclusive when this problem is not a problem that we're all dealing with. Like certainly has impact in your relationship, it has an impact on your children. But I ran it yesterday, just yesterday I was having a conversation with the CMO of a multi-billion-dollar company here in Utah, and she's telling me that she's been wanting to sign up for dree, but every time she walks by her washer and dryer, she feels that it's her responsibility. Now, this is
Wow.
someone that's leading, again, CMO at a multi billion dollar company. And the reason she hasn't signed up is because she feels that it's her responsibility to do it.
She feels guilty.
She feels guilty. She feels shame outsourcing this thing that she was told belonged to her. I mean, think about how moms, and so many of our customers, we have so many conversations with them where they're like, "Oh, I was actually trying to use laundry to teach my daughter how to be responsible before she goes into college or
Mm.
before she goes into high school." And that isn't like that is not an it's an outdated view, but it's so present. Otherwise, the data from today wouldn't say that 78% of women were responsible for the laundry in the home, right? It's
Right.
still a thing we're dealing with, as outdated as we might think that is. And so I just, a couple of things happened as I learned that. Number one is, as a Latino, I always looked at companies and said, and I won't name companies, even though I want to, I'm so tempted. But but their way of building something for us was to put a picture of someone that looked like
Mm.
us. And that was it. And somehow we were supposed to relate to that and connect to that
Right.
service or product. And I was always like, no, you just ask us some questions. We can guide you through what that product experience should look like.
So
You shouldn't.
hard, right? So difficult to do that. So difficult to ask
It
us.
is. Yeah. Well, it feels like it is. It feels like we're in like some other hidden somewhere. But I was just like, there's no way that I can do what I'm doing, solving a problem for 78% of the world's population without them at the table.
Mm.
It's impossible for me to do that. And so the first thing I did was when that like hit me with the data we were learning was I need a female co-founder. And we had already launched our product, our service, and we were already gaining traction. The MVP was built, but I was like, I have to be like, I have to honor the things that I demand from other companies. And so got a female co-founder and made a commitment that at the very minimum 78% of our team would be women, and we are way beyond that. we're we're up in the 90s, which is
Amazing.
amazing. Which is amazing. In fact, there are only so in the company as a whole, there are only three guys. And we all feel
including you.
that way, including me. So you can imagine
And
it's a cool environment.